have here Ari Taub on the mat now, 120 kilograms, a Canadian wrestler, and he's wrestling against another Canadian, Shawn Geris. And Shawn is originally from London. He's the son of Ari Geris, a three-time Olympian from London, and a wrestler who is so well known in this area, not only for his wrestling but his contribution. And speaking of contributions, we really ought to mention the contribution of the London Western Wrestling Club, and particularly Joseph Marcosi, to establishing this meet and giving Canadian wrestlers the opportunity to compete on the international stage on a home level. And I think that's very, very important. Perhaps you could give us a little insight into Ari's background and some about Shawn, Mark.
Ari Taub's a senior national champion at 120 kilos, and both Greco and freestyle wrestling. And Shawn's very fortunate on Father's Day to have his father in the corner, Ari Geris, which is pretty exciting.
Indeed it is, yeah. And Shawn he's a police officer in the area. He's done a little bit of ultimate fighting, so he's used to competitive sports. He's a tough customer. He is in tough against a very experienced Ari Taub. And Ari appears to have a little size on him as well.
That point, because that puts Ari down as the first guy to go down in parterre, and then at 30 seconds, then Shawn's going to probably have to go down in parterre.
Yeah, and that's one of the differences between freestyle and Greco is the way in which they conduct the match. They're trying to create some action. So at the end of the 1 minute into the first round here, we see the wrestlers in the parterre position to create some variety.
And Shawn has 15 seconds to score, turn Ari to his back. But Ari's has a very good defense here.
Well, they've given 1 point to Blue as a caution against Red. I'm not sure exactly what that caution is for, Mark, but they sure wagged the finger at Ari.
I think he was holding his hands in, that he couldn't block him with both hands or whatever.
So he wasn't opening enough to let Shawn take the action. And Shawn is obliged to score or he won't get a point. So if Ari can stop him from scoring, then obviously that would be a point in his favor. It backfired on him because he lost a point and he was cautioned for it.
And here we go at 30 seconds. Shawn's going to have to go down, and that's what the white tape is down. He has to have his knees on the back part and his hands on the front part of the tape.
So we have a 2-0 score for Shawn Geris on the bottom, son of local wrestling legend Ari Geris. And on top, Ari Taub. And Ari's obliged now to take the top position. And he'll do this rather quickly. The whistle goes immediately, and Ari wasn't successful in getting the kind of body lock that he wanted to make the throw. But he is able to get a gut wrench move, which gave him 2 points and ties the match at 2-2. But the match chairman overruled that 2 points and does not allow it. And he's got 2 more. The referee and the match chairman are not in agreement here, but the score should be 6-2. And it is. I'm not exactly sure what the match chairman is concerned about, but he's calling them in, and it probably has to do, Mark, with the use of the legs or some sort of action that way. And I have a feeling we're going to end up in a situation where we're reviewing tapes here and having a conference of officials, because the match chairman clearly did not agree with the match referee, who was signaling 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 3 times in a row for 3 gut wrenches, making the score 6-2. And as we've talked about before, if you get to 6 points, you win the round. But I didn't see anything which would disqualify those points.
I didn't see really, if he was blocking with his legs, that he couldn't get the gut wrench. It doesn't make sense to me what was going on.
Yeah, it seemed to me as though if the bottom wrestler was using his legs to block that leg gut wrench, then Blue would be cautioned. But they're actually not. They're talking about not giving the points to Red. Perhaps the judge felt that Red was using his legs in that gut wrench. Perhaps he was lifting his lower body, but Time only tells, and we don't have a crystal ball to be able to see what they're thinking here. We'll find out from the referee's deportment in the middle of the match. He's explaining to Tari exactly what the problem was. Unfortunately, we can't hear that conversation. They're probably going to reset the score here. It says the score is now 3-0. They're giving a caution point again to Ari. That would be a second caution. And no points at all. And there's 30 seconds remaining in this round. And I think both wrestlers are shrugging their shoulders, saying, I don't know what's going on. One of the things we have to realize, too, is that the wrestlers aren't always in tune with the new rules, and the new rules come at you rapidly, so they may not be exactly sure. Anyway, the coaches, they're there getting an explanation in the corner, and would that we were there with our microphone.
And I think the refs they're not as familiar as they are with freestyle rules, and I think, it takes a bit of time sometimes to adjust to going from freestyle to Greco, to be watching different things with techniques and stuff like that.
And they have taken away one of the points to blue, so it's 2-0, and they did not give a caution to Ari. Whatever he did wrong wasn't worthy of a caution, just worthy of taking 6 points away. So now there's less than 15 seconds to go, and really, I think that Red Wrestler deserves to have more points than that, but it'd be interesting to hear from the officials later on what their decision was. Fortunately, we won't be able to do that because they're tied up. And that round ends as we saw it, and Ari's walking to his corner shaking